In this chaotic world where everyone seems to share everything on social media, from their morning coffee to their deepest thoughts, there exists a profound wisdom that stands the test of time. Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest leaders in American history, understood something that many of us forget in our eagerness to connect and belong. He knew that true intelligence isn't just about what you know, but also about what you choose to keep to yourself. Today, we're diving deep into 5 crucial things that intelligent people never share with anyone. These aren't secrets born from paranoia or mistrust. Rather, they're protective boundaries that safeguard your peace, your progress, and your power. By the end of this exploration, you'll understand why silence can be your greatest strength and discretion your most valuable asset. The first thing an intelligent person never shares is their future plans and goals. Now, you might be thinking, what's wrong with sharing my dreams? Don't motivational speakers tell us to declare our goals to the world for accountability? Here's the truth that Lincoln understood all too well. When you share your plans prematurely, you open yourself up to a flood of unsolicited opinions, doubts, and sometimes outright sabotage. Think about it. The moment you tell someone you're starting a business, writing a book, or pursuing a new career path, what happens? Suddenly, everyone becomes an expert. They'll tell you about their cousin who tried the same thing and failed. They'll point out all the reasons why it won't work. They'll project their own fears and limitations onto your vision. And here's the insidious part. Their doubt can seep into your subconscious mind like poison, weakening your resolve before you've even taken the first step. There's also a psychological phenomenon at play here. When you talk about your goals extensively, your brain gets a premature sense of accomplishment. You receive praise and excitement from others just for talking about what you plan to do, and this creates a false sense of achievement. Your brain releases dopamine as if you've already accomplished something, reducing your actual motivation to do the hard work required to achieve those goals. Lincoln himself was a master of keeping his plans close to his chest. When he was crafting the Emancipation Proclamation, one of the most significant documents in American history, he worked in silence. He didn't seek approval or broadcast his intentions. He understood that great things are built in silence, away from the noise of public opinion. Move in silence. Let your success make the noise. Share your results, not your plans. Let people wonder how you did it, rather than why you're trying to do it. The second thing intelligent people never share is their personal problems and struggles. This might sound counterintuitive in an age where vulnerability is celebrated and sharing your struggles is seen as authentic. But there's a crucial difference between selective vulnerability with trusted confidants and broadcasting your problems to anyone who will listen. When you constantly share your personal problems, several things happen, none of them good. First, you become known as the person with problems. Your identity becomes wrapped up in your struggles rather than your strengths. People start seeing you through the lens of your difficulties, and this perception can limit opportunities and relationships. Second, not everyone who asks about your problems genuinely cares. Some people collect information about your weaknesses like ammunition. They'll use your vulnerabilities against you when it serves their interests, or worse, they'll gossip about your situation to others, turning your pain into entertainment. Third, constantly talking about your problems keeps you stuck in them. Every time you rehash your difficulties, you're reinforcing neural pathways in your brain that associate you with those struggles. You're literally training your mind to identify with your problems rather than your solutions. Lincoln faced unimaginable challenges. He dealt with depression, the loss of children, the weight of leading a nation through civil war, and constant criticism from all sides. Yet he didn't parade his pain in public. He processed privately, sought counsel selectively, and presented strength publicly. This doesn't mean you should bottle everything up or never seek support. It means being strategic about who deserves access to your vulnerable moments. Choose wisely. Share with people who have earned your trust, who have proven they can hold space for your struggles without judgment, and who genuinely want to see you overcome. Everyone else gets to see your strength, not your struggle. They get to witness your growth, not your growing pains. The third thing an intelligent person never shares is their good deeds and acts of charity. In a world of social media philanthropy and performative kindness, this wisdom feels almost revolutionary. We live in an era where people document their every charitable act, from giving money to homeless people to volunteering at shelters, all for likes and validation. But Lincoln understood something profound about genuine goodness. He knew that true charity doesn't seek recognition. When you do good things and immediately broadcast them to the world, you're no longer doing them for the right reasons. You're doing them for applause, for validation, for the boost to your social image. And in that transaction, you've already received your reward. The external validation becomes the prize, and the act itself loses its purity. There's also a practical reason for this discretion. When you constantly talk about how generous or kind you are, people become skeptical. They question your motives. They wonder if you would still do these good things if no one was watching or praising you. Authentic kindness doesn't need an audience. It doesn't require a camera or a social media post. It simply exists because it's the right thing to do. Moreover, broadcasting your good deeds can make the recipients feel uncomfortable or even humiliated. Imagine receiving help from someone who then tells everyone about it. Your private struggle becomes public knowledge, and what should have been a dignified exchange becomes a spectacle. Lincoln gave freely throughout his life, often helping people financially or with opportunities, but he did so quietly. His generosity was discovered through others' testimonies, not his own proclamations. The fourth thing an intelligent people never share is their sources of income and wealth. Money is one of the most emotionally charged topics in human society, and talking freely about your finances is inviting unnecessary complications into your life. When you reveal how much you earn or how you make your money, you change how people see you, and rarely for the better. If you're doing well financially and people know it, several things happen. Some will start viewing you as a personal bank, approaching you with requests for loans or investments that put you in the awkward position of either helping and possibly being taken advantage of, or refusing and being seen as selfish. Others will feel entitled to judge how you spend your money. Suddenly, every purchase becomes a topic for commentary. Buy something nice for yourself, and you're wasteful. Don't help someone financially, and you're greedy. There's also the very real danger of envy. Not everyone who smiles at your success is genuinely happy for you. Some people will resent your financial progress, especially if they feel stuck in their own situation. This resentment can manifest in various ways, from subtle sabotage to outright attempts to bring you down. Why invite that energy into your life? On the flip side, if you're struggling financially, broadcasting that information makes you vulnerable in different ways. People may take advantage of your desperation, offering unfair deals because they know you're in a tight spot. Your professional reputation might suffer if colleagues or clients perceive you as financially unstable. And constantly talking about money problems can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, keeping you locked in a scarcity mindset. Lincoln understood the complexity of money matters. Despite being President of the United States, he faced financial pressures throughout his life. But he handled these matters privately, never allowing his financial situation to become public spectacle or to define how people perceived him. Keep your financial life private. Let your character speak louder than your bank account. Build your wealth in silence. Give generously in secret. And let your financial security be something you experience rather than something you advertise. The fifth and perhaps most important thing an intelligent person never shares is their family problems and conflicts. Your family dynamics are sacred territory, and bringing outsiders into family conflicts rarely resolves anything. In fact, it usually makes things worse. When you complain about family members to others, you're creating a permanent record of temporary problems. Here's what happens when you share family issues publicly. First, you create allies against your family members. The people you vent to will form opinions about your relatives based solely on your frustrated perspective in a moment of conflict. These opinions don't update when you reconcile. So even after you've forgiven your sibling or resolved issues with your parents, your friends still see them through the lens of what you said in anger. This creates awkward dynamics and can damage relationships long term. Second, family conflicts are complex, layered with history, emotions, and dynamics that outsiders simply cannot understand. When you share these problems, people give advice based on incomplete information, and following this advice can actually escalate conflicts rather than resolve them. Third, what you say about your family reflects on you. Constantly complaining about family members makes people wonder about your character. They question whether you might talk about them the same way behind their backs. It erodes trust. Lincoln valued family deeply, despite facing significant family challenges, including a complicated relationship with his wife Mary Todd Lincoln, whom many found difficult. Yet he never publicly criticized her or aired their private disagreements. He understood that loyalty, especially family loyalty, meant protecting their dignity even when things were difficult behind closed doors. This doesn't mean accepting abuse or staying silent about serious family dysfunction. It means being selective about who you involve in family matters. A therapist, a trusted mentor, or a close friend who has proven their discretion might be appropriate confidants. But social media rants, workplace complaints, or casual conversations with acquaintances are not the place for family problems. Now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Why does all of this matter? Why did Lincoln value discretion so highly, and why should you? Because in a world that constantly demands transparency and sharing, your privacy is power. Your silence is strength. Your discretion is dignity. When you practice these 5 principles, you create a protective shield around your life. You preserve your energy for what truly matters, rather than wasting it on explaining, defending, or managing other people's reactions to your personal business. You maintain control over your narrative. You protect your peace. You build your dreams without interference. You solve your problems without an audience. You do good without needing applause. You secure your finances without inviting envy or exploitation. You honor your family without betraying their trust. This wisdom isn't about being secretive or dishonest. It's about being strategic with your vulnerability. It's about understanding that not everyone deserves access to every part of your life. Some things are too precious, too important, too personal to be shared casually. The intelligent person knows the difference between being open and being exposed, between being authentic and being unwise, between sharing and oversharing. Abraham Lincoln's life demonstrated this wisdom beautifully. Despite being one of the most public figures in American history, he maintained a private inner world. He processed his thoughts in writing that he never sent. He made plans he didn't announce. He helped people without seeking credit. He protected his family's privacy. And through it all, he built a legacy that has lasted centuries. So today, embrace the power of discretion. Move through life with intention about what you share and with whom. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Build in private. Celebrate in private. Struggle in private. And let the world see only what you choose to show them. This is not about hiding who you are. It's about honoring who you are by protecting the sacred aspects of your journey from those who haven't earned the right to witness them. True intelligence recognizes that silence is not weakness, but wisdom, that privacy is not secrecy, but self-respect, and that discretion is not dishonesty, but dignity. Walk this path, and you'll find that your life becomes more peaceful, your progress more substantial, and your happiness more authentic.